from the campus of Westfield State University. This is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley. With convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut, visit us on the web at westfieldbank.org. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
March 13th, 2018, and counting. My name is Bob Plass. Wow, it's Tuesday. Always features my trusty, lusty, dusty, musty, and crusty sidekick, Jay Pagliuca. Hi, Jay.
When God created man, she was only kidding. We were having a wonderful conversation about that off air.
Yeah, yes.
We know who's really in charge. You know?
If you think God is like omnipresent and everything,
yes.
Can you define God with a gender? No.
No, but it helps.
Why?
It does?
I'll tell you what.
I don't think it's either gender.
Let me find my coffee here.
I think the Son of God was the Son of God, but then how do you figure anything else?
All right, okay.
Thank you for the coffee, by the way.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
Coffee is the only reason I come here on Tuesday morning.
It is your God.
Yeah, I guess you could say
if you
that.
really think about it that way. Hey, no.
In the Roman sense?
Wait a minute. The voice that you hear right there is the Kitten of the Keys, Peter Coles. He is the March Merrymaker of Madness. Is that what we've been calling you? I think that's what it's
yeah,
been.
something like that.
Yeah. It's kind of.
But we're all discombobulated, so it doesn't matter.
No, I see. This is what I feel about the gender of God, which is an interesting thing to talk about this early in the morning. But I think all of my life I thought of him as a man with a white beard. A white man with a white beard.
Because that's how it's classically depicted.
Yeah, and all those pictures with that, Leonardo da Vinci and everyone always pictures him that way, except somewhere in the 60s, it might have had something to do with the hippie life. I wasn't really leading, but it might have been about the hippie life. I started to think of, the women's movement, that I started to think, wow, she might be a woman. And then...
I don't think there's any... See, me personally, this is what I believe.
Yeah.
No gender attached to God. The only physical representation that we know of God, right, is Jesus Christ, right? If you believe that.
That's right.
If you believe that.
Right.
Or a burning bush.
Islam...
If you're
watch out.
older.
Those aren't perforated right, so you may have to pop the cap off to pop that thing out. Because mine was all busted.
It's my coffee cup he's talking
Yes.
about.
See, this conversation is... go ahead. Finish,
so Islam believes is Jesus. They believe in Jesus Christ, that he existed as a prophet, right?
Yeah, right.
And there's other religions that accept that too. But I think of God as you can Allah, Yahweh, the Lord. There's other religions that Buddha
That's
has,
right. But in your
Buddhist,
mind, you must be picturing something or someone.
No, see, I picture God as a concept, not as a thing or a physical representation. It's a concept.
See,
And believe it or not, that Catholic school taught me that.
I was just going to say that just the opposite. That when I was a kid, I needed to see who I was praying to in my mind or something. You know,
maybe it's an aquarium thing.
Maybe I don't. Yeah, there might be Peter Coles.
We are all we're all. Of course, the whole conversation is predicated on whether you believe in
God.
that entity.
That's right.
And
yeah.
and I was brought up Catholic.
Yeah.
But I'm also an engineer and a scientist, and and I'm one of those guys. Now you got to prove to me that that's the way it is. I need proof, and I haven't seen it. But in that religious thing,
Context,
you got to have faith,
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll buy all of that.
But in high school,
I don't require everyone to
But you
believe
remember
in it.
this thing in high school where maybe it was religion class when they, you in Catholicism at
Catechism.
Catholic catechism, who made you? God made you. Why did God make you? God made you to know, love, and serve Him in this world. We all as Catholics.
Oh, you know
that.
that way too well.
Oh my! Yeah, I was drilled in. Oh God, I can go on. And at any rate,
I can see the scars on your knuckles.
Oh yeah. The nuns back in the day. Yeah.
Back when you learned the right way with a ruler across your hand.
The right way by the wrong way. So this is it. You see, we were taught about the Swiss watch theory. You know, if you take a Swiss, not
Swiss
Swish.
watch.
I'm the one that wears the Swiss watch.
Swatch. They were popular.
Swiss
They were popular in
watches.
the 80s.
Swiss, swatches. Oh, whatever. You got to take a watch,
Take it apart. Yeah.
yeah, and you look at it, and you open it up inside, and there are the mechanisms that make it work.
Yep.
Okay. It will not work without those mechanisms. And so the average high schooler at Cathedral in Springfield was learning that the proof of an existence of a higher being was the idea that the Swiss watch, or the watch, or you open it up and there are the workings, because otherwise time doesn't proceed. The watch doesn't work, and there has to be a maker for everything that exists. You cannot have something that exists without a maker.
So time doesn't exist unless you can measure it?
That whole thing is a concept, and I have trouble.
Now listen, I watched the whole special on Stephen Hawking.
Oh, you did?
And Stephen Hawking postulates that...
I bought that book, incidentally. It was a big bestseller. I couldn't get beyond the first paragraph without saying, I don't understand a word he's saying.
Stephen Hawking postulates that before the Big Bang, there was no time, there was no nothing. So how do you get to know nothing and then have something? That's why he doesn't think of God. Stephen Hawking didn't think God exists at all.
No, I know he did.
And there's a lot of fundamentalist Christians believe that he's burning in hell right now.
Time didn't exist.
Oh well, that's totally.
But
right.
there's
Time
fundamentalists.
didn't exist until the railroads hit the country.
Measurable time.
Right. Yeah, we knew when the sun came up. We knew when the sun went down. Nothing else mattered.
That's right. And in prehistoric times, the sun was a god, because in order to explain this concept, how did it work? You needed to have something behind it.
But okay, so what forces other than allowed us to develop consciousness to understand time?
Well, this was when the Caped Crusader came across this guy in Catholicism, and when God is creating a man, there was
I'm
one
asking
poet.
philosophical questions, and you're answering in a religious context.
Yeah, of course. I was brought up that way.
I'm still trying to get through this Cape Crusader thing.
Oh, I was saying that at the right moment, there's this spirit or something that's injected into the Adam and Eve supposedly the first man and woman. Again, now that I get older, I kind of have to worry that I had the wrong theory or not. But at any rate,
when did we start going to school on Tuesday morning?
I have no idea.
Sunday school
but it's a fascinating thing how we grow up.
It's a discussion that we grew up in the same tradition, yet we have different views on things.
Yeah, well, no.
Like I've literally, I was taught that, God was a man, but in my mind, and the way I've always sought the truth and whatnot, is that God it doesn't have a gender, because the only physical representation, to Jay's point, the only thing I can prove is that a guy walked around named Jesus Christ, did a lot of miracles, and was a good man and started a religion. That's the only thing I can see with proof.
Right, and if you really read his,
but I also go the step further than that.
Yeah.
That I believe that he was part of God incarnate.
Oh God, that's a hard word. Incarnate.
Yeah.
He is part of God incarnate.
Right. If you believe in the Holy Trinity, there's 3 parts to God.
See, now
the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
I try to simplify it all down.
Yes. Right. No, but I'm serious.
Yeah,
I try and simplify it all down to that jolly fat man with the big belly. I kind of like the Buddha thing. I really do.
Well, I was thinking Santa Claus. But they're all related.
Well, if he didn't have the red suit on, he'd have the belly.
No,
Yeah,
no. But Jay, they're all related because there's kindness and love associated with.
All right,
Bob. Here's the worst thing about the world today, is that the major religions all believe in a higher power, depending on what you call him, right?
Yeah.
Same concept for all 3 major religions in the world, and all the minor religions that split off of them.
Yes.
Why can't we get along if we all believe in the same higher power?
Well, it's very true.
Because you know why? Because man screwed it up along the way.
Because my higher power is better than your higher power.
No,
and
man screwed it up along the way. The writings of all the prophets and teachers and things like that. Man screwed it up.
Right. According to my Catholic upbringing at Cathedral, okay, there is going to be, again, another Caped Crusader, or the same Caped Crusader, who will come to return to help things along. The second coming is.
I never asked
Father somebody.
No. I never asked the rabbi or the imam if they have a similar tradition. I know the Jewish religion doesn't believe that Jesus Christ was the Savior, and they're still waiting. That was the split.
That's right.
Because
they believe
Catholics
in Jesus.
are Jewish.
Yeah, no. Yes,
Catholics are Jewish.
Well, Jesus Christ is a Jewish man.
Because we started with the Jewish tradition, and we still hold those very dear. It's called the Old Testament.
That's right. Right.
But does Islam have a same tradition? And you know, we used to have spirited debates when we did Around a Common Table,
right,
on philosophical issues, and Father Savage was still amazed at how deep I would get into stuff like that.
Yes,
we'd have conversations before you guys showed up.
Right.
To do things like that.
Well, I'll tell you, the conversation about who is God and why is God and how is God, what does he do, is so important. And it's also important for children. I always thought that
the reason our society is degenerating, part of it is we don't have religion anymore.
Well, there has to be some basic truths that we hold to, and supposedly those are innate, and we get away from that in today's world. Maybe because we don't have the opportunity to hear it anywhere. And we don't really hear it. I was listening
to a song just before this about I'm Better Than Denzel Washington by Chameleonaire that did not promote any peace at all. It just promoted violence. And that's common. That's a pop song right now.
So you wonder, and I hate to say that Pete and I had this conversation jokingly before we went on the air.
Sure.
You know, we walked into the studio and some hip hop's music was on, and
it was Denzel Washington by Chameleonaire.
Not to pigeonhole hip hop as violent, but you walk in and Pete goes, "Wow, it's this music here that's sending our society down the tubes." I said, well, back in the 60s, we said it was that rock and roll that was sending society down the tubes.
That's not the only thing.
But the words of the rock and roll song, were not like the words of today's hip hop or whatever.
But we were talking about sex and drugs and rock and roll.
Very, very, very.
But not violence. Not disrespecting
lots of
women.
Euphemisms to describe that.
Right.
But not disrespecting women, not beating people, not shooting. Like the physical lyric in that song was, is I got a gun under my seat, and don't make me mad because I'll shoot you.
I know. Yes. and this is the thing. We go right to the chase, Jay. We go right to the chase about instead of using a euphemism, we use the word. We use
so that's the difference between hip hop today and rock and roll of old?
No, maybe 60. Yeah, well, to a certain degree. I don't know. We got to go back and look at that music.
Now, truth be told, I'm not a fan of hip hop. I'm an old rock and roller. But, you got to give everything, you got to take everything with a grain of salt. And it's, look, you make the music, and it's the people listening that make that music famous. Ignore it, it'll go away.
But we can do that having lived life's experiences, right? A 12-year-old that has no life experiences thinks that's life experience.
Well, and that's why we have to give it a dose of Sister Marie Christine, or please.
Sister Marie Christine, my cousin.
Yes, I know. I mentioned that. Yes, yeah. But a dose of a nun at cathedral
Come on,
or
baby,
two might
light
be
my
helpful.
fire. When I was 12 years old, meant a whole lot of different things.
Oh, really? Yes, I was a Boy Scout, and we were rubbing two sticks together.
Right.
Instead of other things. At any rate, 6:17 in the morning. Hey, I've been listening. In the second hour, I'm going to play a song that my great idol Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote and sings with this young man from Dear Evan Hansen, but he's going to have a big career. He has a voice sort of like what's the guy's name? Josh Groban. It's a stranger voice, but somehow or other he connects his soul to the voice. And this is a very simple arrangement. Actually, it's they did it in a park. It's on YouTube, of Ben Platt from Dear Evan Hansen and Pitch Perfect movies singing an Ed Sheeran song. You know how much I like Ed Sheeran. Let's not make it rain, because I think we're going to have snow tomorrow, which we'll talk about when we get back. Make It Rain, Ben Platt. This is he with guitarist Adam Yeren.
The sins of my father way down in my soul, and the pain of my mother will not let me go. Well, I know there can come a fire from the sky to refine the purest of kings. Though I know this fire brings me pain, even so, just the same, make it rain down, Lord, make it rain, make it rain, make it rain, make it rain down, Lord, make it rain, make it rain. The seed needs the water before it grows out of the ground, oh. But it just keeps on getting harder, and the hunger more profound. Well, I know there can come tears from the eyes, so they may as well be in vain. And I know these tears, they come with pain, even so, and just the same, make it rain down, Lord, make it rain, make it rain, make it rain, make it rain down, Lord, make it rain, make it rain. And let the clouds fill with thunderous applause, and let the lightning be the veins. Oh, and to fill the sky with all that they can drop. When it's time to make a change, make it rain down, Lord, make it rain, make it rain, make it rain, oh, make it rain, make it rain, make it rain, make it rain. Make it rain, make it rain, make it rain, oh, make it rain.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Commercial Distributing Company of Westfield. Now in its third generation of family ownership, Commercial is one of the premier beverage distributors of Western Massachusetts. The Plasek family and the staff of Commercial Distributing wishes you good times throughout the year and urges you to drink responsibly. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Comcast and Xfinity.com. With the Xfinity Double Play and Xfinity Triple Play, you can choose to bundle Comcast services for a great value. Experience Xfinity TV, Internet, home phone, and home security services. Explore all that Xfinity has to offer in the Westfield area on the web at Xfinity.com. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Wally Computer Associates, one of the largest technology providers in North America. Headquartered in Southwick, Wally provides all of the products and services that you'd expect from a world-class technology partner to schools, colleges, businesses, as well as state and local governments and agencies. Wally Computer Associates, meeting all of your technology needs. On the web at WCA.com. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646. Friday mornings is something different on 89.5 FM. It's JP's Talk About Town.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University. This is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Wow, it's Tuesday morning, and
I'm calling my shot
6:30.
early.
Yeah, our trusty kitten of the keys, Meow, is
Harry Rock
trying to get me on to do street reporting.
Wow,
What is that?
Harry Rock.
Don't make eye contact with Pete Coles.
Yeah, he's learning from me. Holy God, help me.
Harry Rock looked me straight in the eyes, and now I'm on the parade subcommittee.
For the 350th.
For the 350th, yes.
Absolutely. And that's going to be in the summertime, right?
May 19th. On the actual Founders Day.
Not this May 19th.
Next 2019.
May 19th.
Yes, but this May 19th, you have to save on your calendar because that is the evening that we are doing Canoe the Musical again.
The 349th anniversary of Westfield?
Yeah, no. Yeah, the 349th. We're doing it at the Shortstop. And so if you missed Canoe the Musical with Mary Bonacci and Michael Rowe, myself, and James Homan, it's the story of a 70-year-old man finding true love with a 50-year-old woman, with songs from Hollywood and beyond, all kinds of
That's why they call it a cabaret.
Yeah, it's a cabaret musical, sort of, but it really went over. We sold it out the last time, so hoping that people May 19th. At any rate, so you want me as a street reporter?
I want you to be the guy talking to people as they come up to the reviewing stand for the television coverage. I got to find 2 anchors to call the parade.
Oh, I'd rather be the anchor. I would much rather be the anchor.
So who do I get for the street?
Oh God, who do we get? Danny Nason.
I might need Danny Nason as a camera operator.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, we'll talk off camera. Wait. Well, while we're working on this, let's tell the weather. I said that we talk about the weather.
It might snow tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weather Underground is saying 1 to 3, so that means like just and
Don't
the
panic.
thing is, in
It's
spring,
March. We're
it's
used to it.
Springtime, it might not stick all that well to the roads.
Oh, it's gone the next day, but the day of, but it's going to be. There's a winter storm watch that starts like 9 a.m. tomorrow and goes to Thursday.
The winter storm watch is in effect. They put a warning up, I believe, for tomorrow at around 8 or 9 tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay. Where am I?
But it's going to be.
8 or 9?
Listen, here's the thing. Here's
winter
the
storm warning.
Here's the skinny. Here's the skinny on this
Yeah,
one, Bob.
what?
The further east you go, the worse it's going to get. We're on the edge of it.
Oh, but look at this. My cell phone. Do you do this?
So Berkshire-
winter storm warning in effect from 8 a.m. Wednesday to 8 a.m. Thursday. Total snow accumulations 10 to 14 inches
For
the National Weather Service.
for the eastern part of the watch area.
No, this is for here, Westfield.
No, we're not going to
See,
get that much.
it all depends on what report you look at.
Or the wobble wobble.
Ask me on Thursday. I'll tell you what we got.
Yeah,
Right.
So I asked
Jay,
them-
or the wobble wobble of the storm.
It says snow showers tomorrow. That's all it says.
Yeah.
I mean, snow showers all day
What
long
happened
on
to
the
10
other
inches?
other things. So what's this 8 to 10 or 10 to 14?
I think
inches?
we're only going to get max. We're going to max out around 4 to 6.
See, there's always been a half a dozen different weather reporting agencies for your area, right?
Yeah.
So when I was doing marketing for the ski area, I just took them all and picked the one I wanted.
the aggregate.
It's sort of like, who is your weather god? Who is your weather god? Where do you go to? Do you go to Nick Morganelli? Who do you go to for your weather
Nick's
god?
not up yet. Otherwise, I tell him to call in.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
He's smart. We're not.
But do you
Who's
go?
Who's the Channel 40 guy with the shiny head?
Oh, that's
Jacob Wyckoff.
Yeah,
Jacob
that's the
Wyckoff.
one- that's the one my
He's
wife
a,
likes.
He's
Yeah.
a spitting image of the president of Westfield State, Ramon Torresia.
Yeah, he is kind of. isn't he?
Honest to God, look, every
You guys
time
need
he
to
does
have
the
him take a
weather,
picture.
he's a younger version of Ramon. Both handsome men with bald heads.
Yeah.
Yeah. At any rate, so
By the way, we had Dr. Torsi on the radio when we went over the St. Patrick's Day chamber breakfast.
Oh,
on
you
Friday.
did?
We were
Stopped
live.
by to say hello. That was very nice.
oh, you
Yes.
were at the chamber breakfast.
Yes,
and,
I was.
Fabulous! That
We
was
did his show over there from
Yeah.
6 to 7:30.
wonderful.
They only gave people 10 minutes to talk, Bob. That's why you weren't invited. So just so you know.
Oh, I would have been there. No, I actually, for some reason, please, my Irish roots, my 40% of me, is berating me. I think that's why I had that tummy ache yesterday. But you know why?
Why?
I totally, forgot that
The High Holy Day?
Yeah. I didn't have corned beef and cabbage.
Oh,
I
you know
didn't.
what?
I didn't watch the parade.
I
forgot all about it.
I talked about this yesterday. Sunday, I decided to make corned beef and cabbage
Yeah.
in the electric smoker. The corned beef came out awesome.
Really?
Cabbage, I didn't smoke it long enough.
Oh.
But cabbage had I hollowed out the top of the cabbage.
Well, you could have smoked the cabbage before putting it into the smoker.
Yeah, no, not that cabbage.
I don't know whether that
Jay's
works.
cabbage,
Have you
maybe.
ever smoked cabbage? I don't know.
Jay's
That's
cabbage.
a bad question. I don't know.
I am taking a step away from the microphone.
Yeah. Oh, God help me. Hey, so the corned beef that I have in the fridge that said freeze by May 2017. This is what the package says, guys. May 2017. Am I able to use it March 2018 if it said freeze by May 2017?
Has
Yeah.
it been frozen?
Well, freeze what? The corned beef?
It was frozen. It's been frozen for a year.
Yep. Yeah, because the freezing extends the life of anything.
But does anything, I mean, other than Walt Disney, does anything last that long frozen?
Meat's good for a year or two.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God! So I am gonna have corned beef. I
Sure.
feel really bad about this. That I was wearing green
So-
just by chance on Sunday, so at least I got that part right.
So I made lunch for my mom, and
Yeah.
then I went to the waterfront and listened to a blues band called Whiskey Park. And then
Is that Pat Kennedy's band?
Yes, he wasn't
plays
there,
the
though.
No, he's still laid
recovered.
up.
No. He wasn't there because he was riding in a car in front of behind the
Right.
band.
Right.
But he stopped in to say
He
hi
would
to
make
the guys.
He would make a great. What do you call it? The Grand Marshal of the parade,
Pat.
Pat Kennedy.
Yeah.
Would they ever think of that? I got to put for the man of the year.
St. Patrick's Day.
Harry.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going to put an early nomination for Irish Man of the Year.
Yeah. So I would.
A name like Kennedy, I would think you'd. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
All right. So
both you and I qualify as well. So I don't think I want to walk the parade.
Sons of Aaron, if you're listening, Pat Kennedy, Irish Man of the Year.
Yeah. I love that. He really deserves everything that he does.
Right.
It's so
he did stop in to listen to the guys.
He's everybody in Wisconsin. He is the head of the band at Westfield High School.
Westfield Technical Academy.
And technical. He's the music guru for Westfield, and he recently had a little heart scare, I guess, and is
he had a heart attack.
Oh yeah, but he's doing really well.
He's recovering nicely. He's back to like half days.
Thank God. We really need him. Badly.
But so I went over to the Holyoke for the parade day, which is an interesting proposition. But you know what, Bob, you and I have to.
For Wisconsin, the second largest parade in New England is right here in Holyoke, Massachusetts, right next to us.
What's the
80-something years old?
Boston, I think.
Yeah, Boston.
And then there's another one that's really kind of strange. Like could it be Washington or someplace that you never think of on the East Coast? I don't know, some Danbury, Connecticut. I don't know.
So Bob, you and James have to come over for dinner for the Irish Cultural Center on a Wednesday night.
Oh my God! I would really love this.
Irish Saison music. This is Irish session music.
Yes.
And they have they had 12 musicians last Wednesday night. Just sit there in the round and play Irish music.
Oh, like in the old days back
like
in
the
homeland.
Yes.
Oh my God, I love this.
So you and I will have to go over for dinner
in the pub
from 4 to 6 to 9.
6 to 9.
So you can go over for dinner. I'll make reservations.
We'll go over after work. Mike Knappich can come. But we got to make plans for this.
Yes.
We'll Bo Sullivan, shout out to Bo, who is now directing.
Who turned me on to it last Wednesday when we were doing a remote over at the Irish Cultural Center.
And so they have corned beef and cabbage?
They have corned beef sandwiches. They're out of this world. They have a regular menu there.
Yes.
They have a regular menu, and all the food is excellent.
Wonderful.
I've sampled several things, and I've got a good relative sample, which was,
Wonderful. Well, our book diva just entered the studio.
Our bookie?
My bookie. My bookie.
Our bookie?
Our beautiful bookie. Jessica Martin from Blue Umbrella Books is here for the rest of the hour and a half.
You get thrown into the bus early this morning.
Jumping right in, barely got my coat off. I like it.
Yes, exactly right. Yeah. How are you, sweetie?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, good. Did you celebrate St. Patrick's Day at all?
We're really Irish at home, so no.
No. Is there any Irish in you at all?
Just
wait a minute,
just
Sean.
a little bit by marriage.
Yeah, really? I'm not going to touch that line for...
As they say, as the Irish say, just a little bit,
Yeah. Sean, what's his last name?
Martin.
Oh my God! Yes, of course.
His mother's maiden is Mulcahy, so his mom was the first of his family to be born in the United States.
Is that right?
Yes. So Sean,
the Mulcahy's lived behind us, and when I grew up, I wonder if they're the same family.
I don't think so.
Everybody's the same family.
I was going to say that's like Smith, right?
Yes, exactly.
The Irish version.
Yeah. Peter and I are related. You and I are related. Jay and I.
No.
Those Italians, I didn't have anything to do with. Nothing. Hey, 6:34 in the morning. I've been studying Bob Dylan, as you know, watching a lot of series. I'm got maybe about an hour and a half left of his life on one documentary. I might watch another one, but it was really interesting to me that back in the 80s, he did 2 albums that really he got into this religious phase, and the songs that came out of it were really not great. Okay, so.
Let's play one.
We did last time. Last time we did. And so we then he said, I got to go back to my roots. And so he went back and he recorded some covers and some other songs that went back to his, very raw American roots. And he recorded 2 albums, World Gone Wrong and what's the name of Good As I've Been to You. And both of those albums were really much better received. And I'm going to play a track from them. But I want to tell you a story about...
We'll get to the break in quarter hour.
Yeah, no, quick. Woodstock. Was it Woodstock 1994? Woodstock was not
Woodstock was 69.
Yes, but...
They had a revival show.
Woodstock, the revival.
Which I attended.
Oh, my God, you did?
Go to the revival in
Saugerties? You're kidding.
Yes, 1994. I was
near Syracuse or something?
15 years old, Saugerties, New York, yes.
And were you there for more than one day?
I was there for 3 or 4 days, yes. I can't remember. Yeah.
No.
Good answer.
In a tent?
In a tent, yeah.
Uh-huh. And did you, by chance, see Bob Dylan?
I did see Bob Dylan.
And did he see you?
I probably.
You don't remember him, but you did see him.
Yeah. No, it was a long time ago now, but yes, that was a point. I was with my father. So my father's was an old hippie, and he was at the OG Woodstock. So he was
at the original Woodstock.
Yes, and he thought it would be a great idea to take me and 6 of my friends to New York to camp out, and all hell broke loose there.
Cool.
It was crazy. So we did have a very good time, and I have a wonderful photo album filled with memories.
Did it? Okay. So
I gotta see that. That'd be cool.
I'll bring it next time.
So, I'd love to see that. So it rained a lot.
Yeah, it was real bad.
It wouldn't be Woodstock unless it did that.
No, but
yes.
The 94 was it raining almost the entire time?
No, it cleared up. It rained like the front half, and then it stopped raining. But it was already so muddy, and everyone was so dirty, and there was nowhere to get clean because it was overrun with people. Originally, it started out as a great idea with a plan and tickets and packages and all these things.
Yes, sure.
Which we had planned.
A little civilized, more civilized than the first.
But then they overran the place, knocked down the gates. Everyone was savages, and there was garbage everywhere. It was really terrible.
It was Woodstock.
Yes,
oh my God! Yeah. And everything was. You slept in mud.
Mud in a tent, yeah. But I mean, I was 15 years old, and we were out watching rock music and old bands and new bands, and it was awesome. But yeah, we were in the mud, and it was. I can't believe I didn't contract a disease.
Holy God! Well, I was home probably reading in my room. At any rate, Bob Dylan was on the stage, okay? It was not his best performance at all. At all. He really sometimes, it was hit or miss. It's probably hit or miss still with Bob Dylan, whether he's going to really be into it or really not be into it. And he was kind of not into it. But an interesting thing happened. It was raining like cats and dogs. And he was booked as the last performer at Woodstock. At Woodstock 94 to be the final penultimate performer. He walked out onto the stage. It was pouring rain. The minute he got to the center of the stage, the sun came out. Literally, the sun came out.
It's called a thunderstorm, Bob.
No, it's a sun.
Bob Dylan miracle.
It was a miracle.
Bob Dylan is God.
Yes, it's maybe that's
You've
right.
been listening.
Yeah, really. At any rate, 6:38 in the morning. I'm going to play "Blood in My Eyes" from I think it's from the World Gone Wrong album, and listen to this. It's actually pretty terrific.
Good-looking girl, can I make love with you? Hey, hey, babe, I got blood in my eyes for you. Hey, hey, babe, I got blood in my eyes for you. I got blood in my eyes for you, baby. I don't care what in the world you do. Back home, put on my tie, then looked at me, began to smile. Said, hey, man, can't you wait a little while? No, babe, I got blood in my eyes, babe. No, babe, I got blood in my arms for you. I got blood in my arms for you, baby. I don't care what in the world you do. Give my money back. Hey, babe, I got blood in my eyes for you. Hey, babe, I got blood in my eyes for you. I got blood in my eyes for you, babe. I don't care what in the world you do.
WSKB's programming is generously underwritten by Whip City Fiber. Westfield Gas and Electric wants to help you decide where they offer gigabit speed Whip City Fiber Internet next. Turn your neighborhood into a fiberhood. Get on the list today at www.whipcityfiber.com. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646. Friday mornings is something different on 89.5 FM. It's JP's Talk About Town.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it's Tuesday morning and it's March 13th, 2018 and counting. I'm here with Peter Coles, the kitten of the keys and March Maker of Madness, Merry Maker of Madness.
279 days till Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Wow.
And Jay Pagluka, the trusty sidekick of myself, Bob Plass, and the bookstore diva herself, direct from Blue Umbrella Books.
Our official
and
bookie.
beyond. Yeah. Hey, and she is also a realtor to boot.
Yes.
She's a real bookie?
No, she's a realtor to boot.
Sorry.
Well, she books, but she's a real. You actually do book.
Yes,
yeah.
I will book the sale of your home, Westfield.
Well, I wanted to know. Actually, here's a good question for you. How are reading and realty similar?
Huh?
Wow, that's a
How is a realtor the realty process and reading similar? Yes,
Mr. Cotter.
Yeah, yes.
I'm going to
yeah.
let Pete answer that.
Yeah, well, okay.
They both tell the story. They both tell a story. A realtor tells a story of a family buying a home or somebody buying a home, and a story tells a story of just a story.
I'm so glad you're here.
Oh God, no, but there's
That's
more.
the right answer.
There's more to it than that. Yeah.
Saved by the
yeah,
P.
Yeah. Do you ever have to check the books? as a realtor? I mean, like
The registry of deeds?
Don't you have to know what
gotta know
the
how to
sale
read,
price is? And isn't
Yeah,
there a
that's-
book? Aren't there books?
That's all online. That was before my time, but yes, that was a real thing. You would have to go to the office and like pull the listing out of the binder and look it up. That was but now with technology, everything's on your laptop, so
So it's
you can access all of that stuff online. Yeah, but there did used to be a book.
people looking for houses more knowledgeable now because they've probably done a lot of online research, or
They
is it
think
worse?
they're more
Yeah,
knowledgeable. I blame
yeah.
television. It's always with any industry because I saw it happen in tattooing as well because that was my career previous to the real estate stuff. Once you expose an industry with a reality television show, common people think that they know everything about the process.
I watch Law and Order, so I
common
could
people-
go to Springfield
Right,
Court
you
now.
could,
and,
your
you know.
forensics are right on point from Criminal Minds,
Right,
and you
right.
can catch a serial killer,
Yeah.
like
and
all these things.
I can perform brain surgery.
But so
from all those
house
from Grey's
shows,
Anatomy.
everyone thinks you're going to get this like perfect house from like House Hunters on television, like
Yeah.
the Home and Garden channel, and like everyone wants a screaming deal on a perfect house, and
Yeah.
so that's a bit of a problem. But I am finding that a lot of my younger people are very, very savvy, which I love because I love to see. Like I'm working with a buyer right now. We just put a house under contract, and she is 24 years old. She's a school teacher, and she's buying a single family home because she wants a dog. It's hard to find a rental with a dog, and she realizes that even though her life is probably going to change drastically over the next 10 years, that paying a mortgage is much smarter than paying rent to pay someone else's
Yeah.
mortgage. So we got her an adorable starter home. She's going to put up a fence and get a puppy, and so I'm meeting a lot of young people like that who are making that decision, which when you read the news, everyone's all, millennials don't want to make the commitment and all that stuff, but I think it's not as true as the media leads us to believe.
Sure. Well, maybe they're wiser than we were because, quite honestly, I don't remember ever anyone saying to me, property is something that you should think of. And all those years that James and I rented singularly and as a couple until we were close to 60 years old.
Wild, yeah.
I mean, the house that we own now is the only house I've ever owned in my entire life.
But it depends. You've moved around the Northeast a lot, right?
Yeah.
You were in New York. You
I was
were
gonna say,
up
you were
here.
a city guy,
So
yeah.
when you're moving like that, it may not make sense to own. Me, I was one of those guys where and again, this is based on my mom and dad. They came in, bought a house, had a job that they both worked at forever. And that was my goal. I want to buy a house. I don't want to move again. I want to have a job forever. And then I'll retire. Well, my dad didn't retire until he was 82. So, but yeah, and I don't think I'll go that far. But buying a house was on
It was
the
part
radar.
of the process of growing
Because I
older.
recognize that paying a lot of money to somebody else for something you're never going to own doesn't make sense.
So when did you were married young probably and bought the house?
Well,
then?
I was married young. It just didn't last. But that's
The first time.
right.
No, but Marion and I have been married a long time, and
Right.
I still say this with fondness. It's because of her that I settled my butt down. It's because of her that I bought a house. It's because of her that I have two wonderful kids.
Sure.
Because I couldn't have kids without her.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's,
Well-
it was it's all those things. It was the catalyst of her helping me see that this is the right time, the right thing to do.
So the marriage was. Do you find that a lot of are young marrieds your clientele?
Some yes, some no, and I do. It's funny because I have more single people who are buying homes and couples who
So
are
you got-
renting because I do renters as well.
Oh, do you? Okay. So what about couples who are not related, who are dating, buying houses together?
I have seen that a bit
Yeah,
too because
yeah,
relationships have gone the non-traditional route as well. People will have a baby and buy a house before they get married or not get married.
But
they're
that's a
still
little more
I
buying.
think that's
a little
problem-
more on the
I
legal
thi-
side.
Yeah, I
don't
think
the guy
that's
doing the
problematic, though.
paperwork.
I just recently I heard of a friend of mine who the folks they were young and
They buy a house
they
and
bought
they
a house
split.
and they split, and then suddenly one of them is saddled with a house, and the other one. I mean, how do you deal with that?
Yeah, it depends on how. And again, that's an attorney comes in and settles that. If you you try and buy anything that big without an attorney reviewing everything, that's not a wise thing.
Does a realtor have return business?
Yes, and that's actually why I love the young people and I love my renters, because I love to set people up and say, okay, you're renting, but you have good credit and you have good income, so let's rent for a year, and then I'm going to call you in 8 months and we're going to get you pre-qualified, and then we'll buy a house. So yeah, I do. I like to see the return people. I like to see people invest when they're young, potentially even keep their house. I mean, I would love to sell it, but I like to see people invest in property, keep it, and then when they do want to start a family or move again, buy another piece of property.
Sure. Are you involved at all in the senior market at all? Because
yes.
Senior...
Another funny niche for me is the actual opposite side of the spectrum, because my mother lives in a assisted living or full-time care facility. Mm-hmm. So I'm on the board of directors for families in the nursing home. So I meet a lot of people, and even like elderly adult children of extremely elderly people. Like I'm meeting people who are in their 60s and 70s who have a 95-year-old parent who's in the nursing home. And I'm always talking about real estate with those people as well, downsizing, and sometimes they got to sell mom's place because mom's in the facility now and we've got to pay for her care.
Sure.
So I do a lot of that too.
The downsizing thing is actually something I'm interested in right now.
Let's talk.
Because the kids, do you see a lot of that? What should someone work for? Because I've got 2 kids. And the second one is about to move out, so now it's just Marion and I.
Yep.
So we don't, as she puts it, I don't want to clean this place. I said, well, I'm here to help, and she goes, well, I don't want to clean this place.
It really depends on what you guys are looking for, because there are, I say, 3 choices. You can do the over 55 active adult community, where you're in an HOA neighborhood and there's no kids around. It's not a neighborhood where you have to deal with kids and families.
What's that mean?
Homeowners Association.
Oh, got it.
They plow your snow and cut your grass, and you pay
fast.
the fee. Exactly. So I try to steer people away from those and condos.
It works for some people.
It does, because if you don't want to do your own exterior maintenance and you want to have fewer things to worry about, but it comes with a price attached and you can't control that price, and I always tell people those fees do not build equity. So what I suggest for you and Marion is you get a smaller ranch-style home where you can just have a smaller footprint, get your laundry room on your living level, and just go smaller.
Meals on Wheels immediately.
Yeah, and then that's a home that you can age into, and then as you get older, you'll be able to go, okay, now we don't have to go for the basement for laundry. You don't need it right now, but it'll be nice when you're 80 to not have to go down the stairs or put in a chairlift just so that you can wash your boxer shorts, I wanted
a chairlift.
He also wants to put out the big sign up. He wants to put up the big sign out front saying, "Kids, don't come back."
Yeah. That's the other one. Yes.
Sorry, your room
we
is
no
gone.
longer have a guest room. Yeah.
Well, you no longer have a grandmother's house. You have your kids' returning house.
Yes.
I saw it with my parents. They're up in Maine now, and they get a big old colonial up there. And their intent was, well, we want all the kids to visit often. Well, all they did was fill all the rooms with crap.
Yes. And then all the kids are going to have to take care of it eventually.
We got to go up and clean the crap.
Will you talk to my spouse?
I would love to.
Because we moved to the I was going to say we moved to the basement. We didn't move to the basement. The basement's a dirt basement. The house is 1760 or something.
That's where all the ghosts are.
We're now living on the first floor because we have we built a bedroom for my father before he passed away. So we live in the barn bedroom, and it's great. It's all on one floor. But the second floor now, James is really adamant about doing a dormer. And in the back, and by historic whatever, we can do that as long as we show the footprint of the original house. But it's going to cost us a lot of money. And James keeps saying, yeah, but look, the resale value is really good. And secondly, for all of the guests that come. And I was thinking, when do we have guests? We only have guests twice a year.
Hey, Jay, I've never been a guest.
Oh, God. Oh, my God, Peter.
We'll look at the return on investment if you install a dormer, and I'll talk to James. So I could talk him in or out of it, whichever you prefer.
I think he's listening right now.
Whichever one's better for the house.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, we can figure that out.
Well, I think we've now worked out
Have you compromised?
I walk the dog and I do my Buddhist prayer. And this is for James and I. As we grow older, we are filled with loving kindness. We are free of pain and suffering. We are happy and at peace, and we are thankful. All right. So the filled with loving kindness sort of comes with my figuring out a compromise for the dormer that he's always wanted. So I have no idea.
We'll
hey, 6:55 in the morning. Hey, let's play the top of the hour song, the 6:57 song. Do you watch Will and Grace at all? You guys?
I've recorded it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, yeah. I got the last 3 episodes still to see. You watch Will and Grace?
I haven't watched any of the new Will and Grace yet, but obviously the old Will and Grace was fantastic.
Yeah, it's getting into its groove better than it did in the beginning, I think. And the whole cast is there. Of course, we got Roseanne coming up this week, the new Roseanne with the
ho hum.
Yeah. No.
Forward to that.
No, you're going to love this, Peter, because they're Republicans. They're going to be Republicans. When was the last time you saw
Roseanne the first time around?
Well, good. I'm glad because she's a Republican now, and whatever. I want you to watch that show.
I don't watch entertainment shows based upon their party affiliation.
Oh, I got.
I go whether they're entertaining or not.
I get it. All right. So at any rate, Megan Mullally, who plays Karen on Will and Grace, is a Broadway star. She came from Broadway. Yeah. Very, very super talented. And she has a partner. Let me see what the woman's name is. Oh, Stephanie Hunt, another actress. Stephanie Hunt's on another show, and I can't remember what it is. But they call themselves Nancy and Beth, even though they're actually Megan and Stephanie. But they're called Nancy and Beth, and they're singing this song, Please, Mr. Jailer. This will show you how talented she is. She is the lower voice in this song. Please, Mr. Jailer, Megan Mullally and Stephanie Hunt, known as Nancy and Beth.
Jailer, won't you let my man go free? Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Bay State Noble Hospital, a brand new name for a Westfield institution which is improving the health of our community every day with quality and compassion. Noble Hospital and Bay State Health, better together.
WSKB's programming is generously underwritten by Whip City Fiber. Westfield Gas and Electric wants to help you decide where they offer gigabit speed Whip City Fiber Internet next. Turn your neighborhood into a fiberhood. Get on the list today at www.whipcityfiber.com. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
He rules the roost on Thursday from 6 till 10. It's Patrick Berry.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Wow, it's Tuesday morning. Good morning, everyone. And if you're just tuning in, I am Bob Plass. I'm here with Trusty, Lusty, Dusty, Musty, and Krusty, sidekick, the Seven Dwarfs, and JPEG Luca, all rolled into one. And yeah.
Where did the Seven Dwarfs come from?
Well, Trusty, Lusty, Dusty, Musty, Krusty, and Busty? Wait, we got to come up with
bookie.
A bookie that's only six. Krusty, Musty, Dusty, Lusty,
that's
Krusty.
Politically incorrect. You got to call it the Seven Little People.
Oh, that's right.
Is little people the appropriate term in this?
So going back to when the microphone first comes on, you go, wow, it's Tuesday.
Yes.
People are asking me, why does Bob always say, wow, it's Tuesday? Tuesday is not that exciting.
Wow, it is. No, it is when we're on the air because we...
Good answer.
Yes, yeah. And wow means Westfield on weekends. And you know Westfield on weekends. You've heard of Westfield on weekends,
I
right?
do.
Right.
I do. Here I am.
That is actually the bookstore diva from Blue Umbrella Books and also a realtor of grand renown.
We're having a little bit of fun talking about realty and realtors and and
well, how do people get in touch with you, Jessica? Just for your own Jessica Martin Realty?
I have a website. Yes, it's jessicamartinrealty.com, and all of my social media, email, and my cell phone number on there. So text me, call me, email me, any real estate or book questions. I'm happy to help.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just to answer questions, even if you're going to go with somebody else.
No.
Stop. No.
Classic sales.
There it is. Kitten of the Keys, Peter Coles. Meow has gone to other places. It will be returning, I hope, sooner or later. He walked out in the middle of a sentence.
Him away.
I did. I drove him away. Megan Mullally has this incredible voice. I just love her singing that Please, Mr.
I
Jailer.
love that song. Yeah, that was a great version.
Who does Please, Mr. Jailer?
That's an excellent question that I do not know the answer to.
Yeah.
I feel like it's from a musical or a movie that I like, which is why I know it, but I don't know who does it originally.
Yeah. I don't know. You can get all of the songs on YouTube.
It's in Crybaby. It's in John Waters' Crybaby with Johnny Depp, right? They sing it in
Oh God, I haven't seen a John Waters film, and so she is so erudite rather than erudite. This is folks. When you hear somebody say
arrogant, what's the difference?
Word of the day calendar. Can we have the definition, please?
Erudite means scholarly, right? All right, it's not erudite, and I keep hearing that in there. So erudite, ERUDITE. If you hear someone saying erudite, say that you are part of the committee that is trying to get that word pronounced
correcting
correctly.
The pronunciation. Yeah.
Erudite. I just heard a newscaster do it the other night, somebody that I really respected, and they said, oh my God, irregardless of the fact, which is another one. You can't say irregardless at any rate. Irregardless is a wasted syllable. Regardless means the same thing as irregardless. Did you know that?
Somebody wants to sound special.
That's right. Erudite. Say it, Peter. I want you to say it.
Erudite.
Have you used that word recently at all?
No.
Never. No. When was the last time you used that word, erudite?
Don't even ask me to say it.
Hey, I watched this show last night on television. Last night or the night before? Geniuses Junior. Have you seen this? It's a quiz show. Every season, it seems like Neil Patrick
I was
Harris
going to say,
has
is
a
this
new
the
quiz
new NPH show? Yeah, I would watch it. I love him.
Yeah. And he's got all these young kids who are really geniuses, and they're vying. It's a 4-week show, and there's going to be whatever. But there's a young girl on there. Her name is Shavunia, and I swear she was part of the spelling bee here in Westfield. I got to find this out if it's the same Shavunia.
You may want to contact the superintendent of schools to see if she participated in the spelling bee.
Yeah, but because one of the that's very true. What I'm going to look at the credits as well. I'm going to rewind it and see if I can find it. But the geniuses, what they did was they asked lots of questions. Among them, spelling words backwards.
Oh.
All right. And they had to see how many in a minute they could spell backwards. Okay.
Yeah, that's not easy. I mean, it can be done, but you have to really think about doing that.
All right. Spell the word listening backwards. Go ahead, Jessica.
GNINETSIL.
No, I forgot an E.
No, that was very good. Go, try Westfield.
LD.
LD.
DL.
They're dyslexic. Okay,
my backwards is dyslexic.
Backwards dyslexia.
All right, try it again. Westfield backwards.
DLEIT.
No, you forgot the F.
Whatever.
It's not easy. Yeah,
it's not easy. Jay, I'll give you one. We'll give you water. That's easy. Do water backwards.
Ice.
ECI. Water.
Chemically, he's correct.
But I was totally amazed that it's right before that Steve Harvey show with the little kids. Also, it's Children's Night on whatever.
I saw a commercial for those shows, new shows. Yeah.
And I've been watching Counterpart. I've got one more episode of Counterpart, which is this series. I still haven't figured it out. You have a counterpart, according to this, in the other land who's grown up with. You have
different. It's an alternate reality.
Alternate reality, and I'm always saying to James, is that the alternate reality or the real reality? Is that the alternate person? Because they're all fighting against one another. Holy
and
mother!
You're sticking with it. I feel like we talked about this last month, and you weren't sure if you liked it or not, and you're still watching it.
I'm still watching it. I'm sort of tossed about watching Mr. Robot because there's a third season of Mr. Robot. The same thing. I couldn't figure out what happens.
You can quit.
I can quit.
There's plenty of other things to watch.
I finished watching Mozart in the Jungle, the 4th season of Mozart in the Jungle. Have you seen that?
I have not.
If you like Will and Grace, and you like not Will and Grace, well, you like Will and Grace, it's a half-hour show. These are half-hour segments, and it's about a symphony orchestra, and it is so much fun. It is Bernadette Peters is on it. It's really and if you don't like classical music, you'll still love this show. Gael Garcia Bernal, from the Mexican actor who is.
Have we got
really
a review from Kevin Rhodes on this one?
I wonder if he's watched it because
that's why I asked.
He plays the conductor on it, and he's a really mad conductor, really inspired conductor. As Malcolm somebody, what's the guy's name? I was going to say Muggeridge, but Malcolm somebody, who's a famous actor, plays the other conductor on it, who's having an affair with Bernadette, who's the head of the board, and there's an oboe player who's. I mean, at any rate, they're all. It's basically all melodrama.
Just proves the making a soap opera out of anything.
No, this was out of a book by Blair Tinsdale called.
That's what I'm saying. You can make a soap opera out of anything.
Yeah, Mozart in the Jungle, the colon tells everything: sex, drugs, and classical music, something like that. Yes,
right. It's called a soap opera.
Yeah, there we are. There we are. So, at any rate, JessicaMartinRealty.com. I'll say that one more time.
Thank you. Thank you for the plug. I like that.
But your other businesses are great Blue Umbrella Books downtown.
We love Blue Umbrella Books. Yeah.
Oh, my God. I've been going in. Russell treats me well.
Russell told me he saw you yesterday. Yeah.
I went in. I think I bought a book that I actually might have given to you to sell.
That's what I like to hear.
I know. I have no idea.
Give it away and buy it back.
Right. I came in. You have new and used books, and of course, sometimes you're very kind to me, and I get to read a lot of books because of Jessica. But I I went into the store and I was looking for a book to read after the book that I'm reading now. And I thought, oh, Easter, maybe I'll... Oh, there it is, The Desire of the Everlasting Fields or something. And it is Civilization Before and After Jesus, by the guy Thomas Cahill, who wrote How the Irish Invented History. Did you read that book? Remember that?
I did not read that book, but I am familiar with him, yes.
Yeah, very, very good historian. So I got it home, and I looked at it, and I think it's my book because there are notes in it or something. I found a page where I think I slurped. And honest to God, am I allowed to return it as my own book?
That's the great things about used books. You find the slurp.
Yeah, so true. And I don't know. Does that make
with today's technology? You can find out what the DNA is and find out who owned it before.
Oh God! Oh my God! There was James is taking a course from the Gotham Writers Workshop online. He's learning how to, or he also a wonderful writer, but he's memoir writing and other things, and so and fiction as well, short stories, and so they recommended a book, and so I looked up online. It's a textbook, $104.
It's so crazy.
Oh my God! And then I found it on sale for $88.
Oh, that sounds like a bargain.
Yeah, no. So then I found it. I was given at Christmas time. I was given 2. What do you call those things? Those little cards from Barnes and Noble.
Gift card, yeah.
A big store, a box store. I would prefer to buy from Blue Umbrella. Independent bookstores, be loved by all of us and praised and kept alive.
But just like you said, if you're not buying a book, if you have to get it because we don't have it, you can donate it when you're done, and that's the same support. We appreciate both ways. Buy the book or leave a book, and it helps us either way.
Oh, it's so great. Because, and I was thinking about this, the idea of having a bookstore downtown that has events and stuff is an important thing for any town.
Yes.
When your town has a bookstore, you're really something, I think.
It's a big deal, yeah. It's a nice little, we like to have it as a gathering place. Like, it's not just a retail storefront. We love the social aspect of the...
Yeah, and the idea that you can go in and you have a relationship with the person knows what you like to read, so therefore you've given me so many wonderful books, and when I'm on my own, I end up buying back my books.
Your own books.
I mean, it's stupid.
Talk about a repeat customer.
Yeah, really. It's like a cucumber or something. I don't know. But so I Desire of the Everlasting Hills by Everlasting Hills. It's the story of life before and after Christianity. It's a smaller book, so it's not.
Are you killing yourself with a giant tome again?
No. But you'll be very proud of me. I finished the Irving Berlin biography that I was reading as Thousands Cheer.
It's good.
And do you read biographies?
Occasionally. I tend to really stray towards fiction, popular fiction, thrillers. And even when I do nonfiction and biographies, it's usually something dark, like, a serial killer's biography.
The biography of a serial killer.
Yeah,
gosh.
Like that.
Yeah.
But that's why I like the book club discussions, too, because then I will read, you should lead another discussion soon, because you can pick a book and then I'll be forced to read it.
I might do the one that I'm reading right now, which we'll talk we'll talk about after the break. Hey, guess who's 100 years old today? Peter, guess who's 100 years old?
I have no idea.
Some days I feel like that.
Yeah, Vera Lynn.
Doesn't help.
Crickets.
Who?
Vera Lynn. You don't know.
Happy birthday, Vera.
Vera Lynn is 100 years old. You guys have no idea who Vera Lynn is, do you?
No.
Jay, does that
I'm
name
still
ring a
trying
bell?
to figure out if I fed the cats this morning.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So here, I'm going to give you a clue. This is her big hit, which I'm not going to play. I do that all the time. I know, Peter. There'll be bluebirds over the white cliffs of Dover. Tomorrow will never be. You know that? All of the people who lived through World War II and their children will know that song. It was. She's a British. She's actually Dame Vera. What's her name? I was going to say Vera Ellen. No, that's a dancer. Vera Lynn. She was the voice in England of World War II, and incredible voice. She's still living. She's 100 years old today, and I'm going to play a World War II song that she did, and this version, you'll love it because it's written about a soldier who's leaving for war, and he says, "We'll meet again," and then all of the girls and boys in the pub join Vera Lynn to sing the second chorus, and it sounds like you're in a pub during World War II in England. I love this song. Vera Lynn, "We'll Meet Again."
We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away. So will you please say hello to the folks that I know? Tell them I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing this song. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away. So will you please say hello to the folks that I know? Tell them I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing this song. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Commercial Distributing Company of Westfield. Now in its third generation of family ownership, Commercial is one of the premier beverage distributors of Western Massachusetts. The Plasek family and the staff of Commercial Distributing wishes you good times throughout the year and urges you to drink responsibly.
Support for community programming on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. Visit bettsplumbing.com or 14 Coleman Avenue, Westfield. Public welcome.
Underwriting for community radio is provided by the YMCA of Greater Westfield. Every day, the YMCA strengthens the community through programs and services focused on youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility. For all the Y's many programs and services, visit us on the web at www.westfieldymca.org. The YMCA, 67 Court Street in downtown Westfield. We're more than a gym. We're a cause. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
Wednesday mornings from 6 till 8, it's Tina Gorman with Wake Up Wednesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when. That was Vera Lynn, 100 years old today.
See, I knew that song after all. I just didn't recognize it when you were singing it.
Hey, you know, my singing voice on stage is a hell of a lot different than sort of I mean, you're
I'm glad you used the term different.
Yeah.
Instead of better.
Instead of better.
Going there. No.
Oh, stop it. Both of you. All of you. All of you.
Come on, that was funny.
No respect.
No respect. No respect.
All right, Rodney.
So, at any rate, down at you wanted to say something more about the in Westfield. It's a buyer's market now. What are you saying?
Sellers
market.
Yeah, even Pizzaware not being in the biz,
housing,
that the inventory is very low in Westfield. So if you're thinking about selling your house, it's a really good time because there's a lot of buyers that want houses in Westfield.
Of all types.
There's all types, and there's no houses available for them to buy. So the houses that are available are selling for higher than they should be if it was a more stable market.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it's just like my wife. You know, she. When it's time to buy a house, it's always at the top of the market. I can't figure that. It happened with our first house. It happened when we built this one.
Oh, God, help me. So you got to get me into a senior living situation very soon.
James would shoot you.
Oh, God, help me.
I can get you a tent in the backyard.
No tenting from me. I don't tent. I do not tent.
RV?
And not an RV either.
Okay.
Could you see?
No.
It'd be like Christmas Vacation if he was in the RV.
Oh my God! Help me.
How do I empty this thing into the?
When the kids were little, they wanted to go rent an RV and go on vacation.
Yeah.
Sounds
we
great.
Did. As well as a kid, it's an adventure, right? Because my daughter, all she wanted to do was go to the bathroom while she was going down the highway. That was it. That's all she wanted to do. So
I have that same feeling when I'm in a plane.
No,
I love that. I really.
So we're heading down. So we're heading out to Lake George. Now, my wife hates camping. She's claustrophobic and anything small. I says, but it's a big RV.
It's going to be great.
Right? It's going to be great.
Yeah, sure.
You know, where do we go? We end up in the parking lot of the Holiday Inn. The kids and I are in the camper. She's got a room.
Oh, I love it.
I like her style.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey, so what do you got? What are you playing there in the background?
Jay, put on your headphones.
I got a fine headphone.
Hallelujah. Wait a minute.
Oh, it's Christmas Vacation. Yeah.
Oh, Christmas
It's a vacation movie.
Oh,
Holiday Road.
Oh, I gotcha. Yes. Hey, so what's happening down there? You got a lot of great things happening at the bookstore.
We do
Blue
have a lot
Umbrella
of great
Books.
things happening. So just tomorrow night, we have our regular monthly book discussion group, and this month's book is Then There Were None by Agatha Christie.
Oh, yes.
So very excited to discuss that book. I just finished reading it, and it was my very first Agatha Christie. And because
she's written thousands of books or something. I mean, like
it's crazy that I've avoided it this long, but after reading it, and then because I read so much contemporary mystery fiction and pop stuff, it was amazing to see how, with it being such an older book, everything comes from that, like that style and that formula of the mystery with the plot twist.
Which is her. She is really well known for that.
The whodunit was.
Did you figure it out?
No, I didn't figure it out. I was surprised by who had done it. I thought it was a nice little twist, and I enjoyed the book overall. So I'm excited to talk about it.
That's an interesting story on and then there were none. It's it's like they're all together, and then one by one, they're all murdered or whatever.
Picked off.
It had a title. The first title was culturally okay, but suddenly was not culturally okay, to believe it or not, because there was a children's song, a little children's ditty in England that was it was, and let's see, without offending folks, it was 10 little, the N word.
Yes.
and that was on the cover. Do you believe that? How
Yes,
times have
yeah,
changed?
that's
How
crazy.
awful!
And
in
then
one
it
way,
changed several times.
Oh yeah, it changed to 10 Little Indians.
Yep.
And then 10 Little Indians, the word Indian became, because the song 10 Little Indians sitting in a row, or I don't know. And then she changed it again to 10 Little Soldiers.
Soldiers is the version that I read. Yep.
Yeah.
Updated and PC. 10 Little Soldiers.
Yes. And now it's called...
Why do you have to change something just to
well,
make it
let's
PC?
face it.
That's a whole another 2-hour conversation we can have. Yeah.
No.
Literary works are literary works. Good, bad, or ugly, Bob?
No, I don't think so.
I do.
No.
Why keep revising history just to make it your image? History's history.
Well, I think that there's a time and a place.
He brought up the word PC.
That was it. He started it.
No.
In this case, because overall the book holds up over time, I do think the change is appropriate, because just by,
That's right.
making it less offensive.
I would never want anyone to go into a library, a child to go into a library, look down the titles, and see that title.
Right.
I can handle the N-word, but then Indians, come on.
No.
Bob, where does it end? Dr. Seuss.
I think it does. I think we
can't even go to Mulberry Street anymore.
Well, I
used to live on Mulberry Street. I really
I had friends who did. Yeah,
I used to live there.
I had an aunt who lived on Mulberry Street. We'll discuss this at another time. We'll table that. We'll table that discussion. At any rate, so what do you got there?
So that's book discussion. Stephen King is Thursday. Stephen King discussion.
Okay, so tomorrow night is and then there were not
Agatha
Agatha Christie. It's a tiny book too, isn't it?
It is a tiny book. Yeah, you could read it today and discuss it tomorrow.
Yeah. And do you need to read the book in order to enjoy the discussion?
I feel like you don't have to. Like, if you popped in the store and we were talking about the book, or if you wanted to come see what a book discussion's about and how it goes, you're welcome to stop in anytime.
Right.
But we will spoil it. We're going to talk about the book in detail. So we'll talk about the ending. We'll talk about who done it. So if you don't want the book spoiled and you haven't read it, probably not a good idea to drop into the discussion.
Sure.
But if you're just interested to see, what the book's about. Some people also like to know the details of a book before they read it. I'm not one of those people, but they'll be like, tell me what it is. Yeah, and then some people have come to the discussion, not read the book, and then left with the book saying, you guys made me want to read that, even though they already know the ending. So.
Well, some of it
that
is...
That kind of was with the Michelle McPhee thing that I went to that one, and
yes.
I was on the fence whether I was going to read it or not.
Yeah.
I've written sections of it, and that you got to really kind of reread that book a couple of times.
Awesome.
Yeah. But I really believe that you can read a book for something other than the plot. Sometimes there is the way the writer writes. It's like poetry or whatever. I really get into the wordsmithing of it.
Definitely. Yeah.
So you got Stephen King. That's one of your more popular book
Stephen King
discussions.
Clubs is a very popular club. Yeah. So we have a lot of people, and it's a really fun group. We have people of all ages. We have a grandmother and granddaughter who come together, and then our regular. Cool. Yeah, it's really great. And we all obviously have the common love for Stephen King, and we have a cast of characters that's usually there every week, and then some people who float in and out, and everyone is again welcome anytime. We have a really good time, and we usually have a themed snack. Joyce and Maddie usually make a themed snack to match the book.
Really? So let's think of the themed snack you're having this week. What book are you going to discuss?
We did Bag of Bones. So I'm not sure what
you're going to have. Oh, I know what it is. You're going to have what do you call it? Wings.
Chicken wings. That would be great. The one of my favorites was when we did The Shining. They made Rice Krispie treats into the hedgerow maze and the animals. And they dyed the Rice Krispie treats green, so it looked like hedges, and it was beautiful.
That's cool.
Yeah, so
it's a little creepy, but cool.
Yeah, really. Well, it's a Stephen King book discussion. Yes,
yeah.
So that's Thursday night.
That's Thursday night at 6:00.
Yeah.
And then one that I'm really, really excited about is our shop regular and employee, Lindsay Stenico. She does our social media. She takes care of our Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff.
Sure.
She's also a student here at Westfield, so she's in her first year at Westfield State here.
Wow.
She has her first novel out, so we're very proud and excited for her. So she's having a book release on Saturday, March 24th at 6 p.m., and it's young adult. So we don't do a lot of young adult.
It's a young adult book.
It's a young adult book, which, again, everyone reads. Adults love young adult now, too.
Yeah.
So, she'll have an author event. She'll talk about her book, and you can meet her, get the book,
What's the name of the book?
The book's called The Assignment by Lindsay Stenico, Westfield's own.
Ah,
Yeah.
so the assignment must be something that a professor gave her, and is it a work of fiction?
It is a work of fiction, yes.
So the assignment is going to be something really scary that leads to something.
I love that you're figuring it out. I don't think it's going to be scary. I don't think she's a horror writer or a Stephen King fan.
I've got a question about
gotcha.
publishing the book.
Yes.
Now, 30 years ago, if you wrote a book and wanted it published, you needed to know somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
How does that process work now? If I write a book, who do I talk to next?
So, this is how crazy the process is.
Yeah.
You can write a book and go on Amazon.com and upload it, and they'll print it and self-publish it. It's that easy. Unedited, you can have misspellings, and it can say whatever. They're not going to look inside.
Yeah.
It is scary, which is why you have to weed out the good from the bad. So then you take someone, like Lindsay's a great example. So Lindsay's a working very hard writer. She's got all these great ideas. She wants to put out a book. Because of the bookshop, she's able to connect with another author who has a small independent publishing company who makes sure that your book gets edited and gets a good cover design, and it's a more professional thing. But it's more accessible to someone who
Just
has
a
a local
random
than
book
a
on
big New
Amazon.
York City publisher that you got to mail your manuscript out, because
Yeah.
that still exists too if
Oh,
you want to
sure.
go to Random House or Penguin.
And
or
you can
somewhere
also,
big.
Barnes & Noble will publish your book
Yep, there's
as well.
all kinds of sites. You can go through Ingram. There's a bunch of sites. So if you were independently writing a book, you can look at all of your options. But it is probably better to start with an independent publisher. Like we have Kate Anderson runs Dark Ink Press, and she does work with a couple of local authors, and the books come out really
And
nice.
the books are printed on demand, right?
You can do either way. There's different
You don't
options
have
as
to
far
buy
as printing goes.
1,000 or
No,
anything like
you
that.
get a better price when you make the investment. But yeah, you can
Right.
get as few or as many as you want. Mm-hmm.
And the idea here is that I think that you're able then to promote it. I got a children's book that I already wrote that I haven't put out there.
Gotta put it out.
I suppose maybe I'll self-publish or whatever. But
We have 2 children's events coming up too, so I would
You
love to
do?
have you as a children's
oh
event.
yeah,
at
well
the
we
shop.
got okay. Well yeah. So what do you got? Where what's your other event? And then we're going to play a song.
We're gonna play a song. We've got Bob Thompson, who is a local favorite. He's
Yes. Oh gosh,
He's got a reoccurring penguin character called Icicle. So Icicle is going to have a new adventure, and that will be on Saturday, March 24th as well, but that's in the afternoon for the kids. So we have 2 events that day, a kids event in the afternoon from 1 to 3.
Uh-huh.
And then Lindsay's event is at 6 p.m. for the young adult author event.
And with the Icicle thing, I love his little drawings and stuff. Icicle, what's the name? What's the adventure that Icicle is on now?
Let's see. I don't even have the name of the book,
yeah,
Bob. I'm so unprepared. I just know that it's Icicle's a globe-trotting penguin, so it's another
Icicle's
adventure. Yeah.
strange adventure in Brazil.
Sorry, Bob.
All right, I just made that up. At any rate, hey, the March for Our Lives is happening on March 24th. That's the march all over America that young people are leading against gun violence. And it's against gun violence. It's not pro or con or whatever, wherever you fit in that gun discussion. It's about gun violence.
Proper context.
Yes. So in order to fund it, they have to raise some money. So Lin-Manuel Miranda and Ben Platt got together, and they're singing a song that's online now. It came on this week. It's called Found Tonight, and it's from Hamilton. An incredible version of an incredible Hamilton song by Lin-Manuel Miranda and Ben
independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. Visit betsplumbing.com or 14 Coleman Avenue, Westfield. Public welcome.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Barnes & Noble College Bookstore at Westfield State University, right here in the Ely Campus Center. Whether you're a student, faculty member, or friend of the university, it's the place to shop. Everything from Westfield State t-shirts, sweatshirts, and gift merchandise to all of your academic needs. Offering textbook materials in new, used, ebook, and rental formats. Visit the bookstore on campus or online at www.westfieldstate.bncollege.com. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley, with convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut. Visit us on the web at westfieldbank.org. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646. Wednesday mornings start off right from 6 to 8 a.m. with Tina Gorman and Wake Up Wednesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it's Tuesday morning.
Give me your cup there, Bob. I'll dispose of it.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
We're giving the cup to the kitten of the keys. Meow. Peter
passing of the
goes. There we go. Passing of the cup. That beautiful voice is the beautiful Jessica Martin from Jessica
bookie.
Martin Realty, and also the Blue Umbrella Books.
Good morning.
And she also does windows and curtains.
Don't go there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Then we have JPEG Luca, who is...
I don't do Windows either.
You don't do Windows?
Well, I do, but not
Who
well.
does Windows in these days? I mean, like...
I have a list of people, if you'd like your windows done, that you can call.
My house is 10 years old. I've never done the windows.
Have you done
Wash
the
them?
windows?
I was going to say, you mean the washing of
Power
the
wash
windows,
them?
right? Yeah.
I wait for it to rain.
No,
Power wash.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, all right. I do that.
No,
yeah.
but have you done the windows in your...
I don't do the windows. I have the windows done, but yes,
Cleaning, you mean?
Oh, no.
Cleaning is not for me.
Oh,
I
really?
like to have it clean, but I don't like to do the cleaning.
I have those windows with mullions. James had all of our windows brought back to the way they were. We had some pictures, and so they have 12 little squares.
Individual panes.
And
Yeah,
panes.
you're not cleaning those windows.
And so we have to go,
One at a time.
One at a time.
Swiffer duster?
Yeah. So that's why my cousin comes in once a month.
There you go.
No, a long time ago, for Marianne, it was a gift that I would, I wanted. She always wanted a lady to come in every 3 weeks or whatever. And not necessarily a lady, but in this case, it was.
I hope.
And really do a thorough job of cleaning.
The deep clean.
And it turned into because it was Mondays that she would come in.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
And it turned into a weekend full of, we got to clean the house because the cleaning lady's coming.
That's a common phenomenon.
My mother-in-law's like that.
I don't. Thankfully, I don't have that problem.
So all I can figure is, well, of course, when you had 2 little tornadoes around the house,
Also true.
that was a lot to do.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness, because they used to follow me around as fast as I could clean. They were making a mess behind me.
Yes.
Holy cow.
And then and you always wonder, how much do I clean? I mean, like,
I don't want to do the job
I
for
don't
it.
want them to think poorly of me, but at the same time, I want to be getting paid. But
Bob,
I pick up after myself. That's good enough.
Yeah, that's your white guilt talking.
That's my way. Yes, it's very, very, very true. Very true. Hey, what do you got? Any other? We covered the events down there, Blue Umbrella.
I think we did cover the events for the most part. Yeah.
Well,
what do you got? Another book-related news?
Oh my God!
Oh, no.
How We Talk by N.J. Enfield, like the town. Okay, Basic Books just got published. $27. How We Talk: The Inner Workings of Conversation. I am so enthralled with this. I'm almost going to get.
Can we make that a required college course?
Right? I was just going to say that's very interesting in this day and age where everyone communicates not by traditional conversation face to face or even on the telephone. Like even doing business in this day and age, everyone wants to communicate with me via text and email. No one wants to talk to me. So I'm always like, I feel like a phone call is faster 9 out of 10 times. You can just call, ask the question, get the answer, you're done. But then when you're texting and emailing, you have to go back and forth a few times.
Why do you think that is? That people don't want to, would rather text?
The human interaction is not something people desire.
Well, I don't want anything more.
True.
Yeah. I don't want to have to chit-chat. This sounds awful.
Oh, see, I get to the point. I'll make a phone call with somebody, get to the point, and then I'll follow up with an email to reinforce it.
Okay, yeah, I like reinforcement of emails or making sure that I'm at the right place at the right time. But I don't want to, hi, how are you? What are you doing? Et cetera, et cetera. Well, let's meet next week, and then you go, okay. Hey, did you see this? And I just, I'm not good at conversation. It sounds really
Bob,
strange.
you do it for 2 hours every month.
I am
no
good
one talks
at it.
more than you.
Yeah, I know. Oh, it is.
That's the God's honest truth.
Oh, stop it. I am the God of conversation. Speaking of what we were talking about, the God of conversation.
Graham Norton might be upset on that
I am the
statement.
God of hellfire.
Yeah. All right. So get this. Here's a fun fact. Did you know that in conversation, this is about this How We Talk book, people tend to respond to each other within 1/5 of a second, about it as fast as it takes to blink an eye.
Yep.
Or did you know that the word that men use words like and ah more often than women do?
Interesting.
And ah.
Because their brain moves way faster than their mouth. Women think about what they say and they make it count. Men just spurt.
Uh-huh. Were you aware that
and women know how to slice you and dice you quickly and efficiently,
and just
with just a few words?
The spewing male, yes, yeah. And
right,
were you aware that people take about 35 milliseconds to answer yes to questions, whereas no answers take nearly twice as long?
No is harder to say.
No is very much harder to say.
That's true.
It's harder to say.
Yeah.
You don't want to answer with a negative. I think people are naturally inclined to want to please. So that's the hang up with the no.
See, I've been dealing with salespeople too much. I enjoy saying
no. Comes very quickly.
Yes.
No.
And
they enjoy
mostly,
saying no to you. They enjoy saying yes to the customers.
Well, right. But it's just there's something very satisfying about knowing that I'm talking to someone that doesn't know how to take no for an answer.
Right. Oh.
Right? A good salesman never takes no for an answer.
Sure.
Only I'll annoyingly persistent.
You know, when you're trying to one of those things from a therapist point of view, when you're trying to get a conversation, a dead end conversation. Okay, you want it to end. And somebody asks you a question rather than hemming and hawing and whatever. Say, do people want, what do you do? Well, I'm not sure. Do you do this? What are you doing Friday night? So you get the person to tell you what they're doing before you say, would you like to go out Friday night? So then,
a trick question.
Oh, it's a trick question.
Come on, I live with a woman. No, I'd never get sucked into that.
It's a trick question. Yeah. So I prefer that somebody says, would you like to go out on Friday night?
And then you can say no.
And I just say, no, I'm sorry, I can't. And if you say, no, I'm sorry, I can't, that ends it. Whereas if you sort of hem and haw the conversation, Ken Stops.
I think Kenny's got some culture.
Looking. Yeah, what are you looking at?
So I was listening to you this morning talking about books.
Yes,
and I thought of you.
Oh,
I brought in a book for you to read.
Oh, I cannot wait. Oh, for God's sakes. How to Talk to a Liberal. Oh,
if you must.
Did you? What is this? The
if
World According to Ann Coulter. Oh, my God.
That'd be Hey, that would be a lively
How to
discussion.
Talk to a Liberal if you must in parentheses. Maybe I ought to read this to learn about the other side. Do you think
Ann Coulter is a very good writer.
It says historically the best way to convert liberals is to have them move out of their parents' home, get a job, and start paying taxes. But if this doesn't work, you might have to actually argue with a liberal. Oh my God!
I like the premise.
Holy mother!
Bob, you know you're pretty much outnumbered.
Are you actually giving me this to read?
Sorry, I caught you unprepared there.
It's the best thing to do.
Is this not a gift or anything?
It's a loner.
If you want to read it, you can read it. It might open your eyes.
That sounds like a challenge.
Does it? Will it get my stomach churning?
Probably.
Ooh, even better.
You might have an issue with the GERT.
Make sure you take an acid first.
Yeah. Take my antacid, whatever. I don't know. I've got to look at that. I mean, like, even her she's wearing leather in the front cover. She's ready for a fight here.
You need a breather. You need to take your 7:45 break.
Let's take a break here. Yes, exactly. Well, this is a great break. Since I forgot St. Patrick's Day, Ann Coulter, is she Irish by chance?
I don't know.
I bet she's Irish. Do you know anything about Ann Coulter? At all, Ken Stomsky?
She's blonde on Fox.
Oh, she's blonde on Fox.
There again, I think they're all blonde.
They're all blonde on Fox. Yeah, they're all blind on Fox sometimes as well. But
Get to the break.
Yeah. Okay. So for St. Patrick's Day, I got to play a Van Morrison song. I love Van Morrison. This is his. There are days like this. People. What's the name of this song? Days Like This. I love this song. Do you like that song?
I don't know. I'll listen to it.
All right, listen to it. Van Morrison.
Well, it's not always raining. There'll be days like this. When there's no one complaining. There'll be days like this. When everything falls into place, like the flick of a switch. Oh, my mama told me there'll be days like this. When you don't need to worry, there'll be days like this. When no one's in a hurry, there'll be days like this. When all the parts of the puzzle start to look like they should. And I must remember there'll be days like this. When you don't need an answer, there'll be days like this. When you don't need a chance, there'll be days like this. When you don't get the trade by that old Judas kiss. And I must remember there'll be days like this. Well, that's nobody's business. Where did you want to live? Well, my mama told me there'll be days like this. When no one steps on my dreams, there'll be days like this. People understand what I mean. There'll be days like this. When you ring out the changes about everything is. Well, my mama told me there'll be days like this. Well, my mama told me there'll be days like this. Oh, my mama told me there'll be days like this. Well, my mama told me there'll be days like this. Oh, my mama told me, she said, there'll be days like this.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Barnes & Noble College Bookstore at Westfield State University, right here in the Ely Campus Center. Whether you're a student, faculty member, or friend of the university, it's the place to shop. Everything from Westfield State t-shirts, sweatshirts, and gift merchandise to all of your academic needs. Offering textbook materials in new, used, ebook, and rental formats. Visit the bookstore on campus or online at www.westfieldstate.bncollege.com. Underwriting support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Greater Westfield Chamber of Commerce, the voice of business for the Greater Westfield communities. Informing, educating, advocating, the Chamber provides opportunities for members to make meaningful connections on local, regional, and state levels. For more information on the Chamber's many events, workshops, and programs, as well as the benefits of membership, visit westfieldbiz.org. The Chamber focuses on the most important economy, yours.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donut shops of Westfield and the Sardina family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
It's Tuesday morning from 6 till 8. Wow, it's Tuesday with Bob Plass.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it's Tuesday morning. We're winding down here, and wow, it's Tuesday. We've got the book diva of all time, Jessica Martin,
our own personal bookie.
We've got the merrymaker of March, Pete Coles.
Yes.
And we've got the crusty sidekick over here.
Oh, now I'm just crusty.
Yeah, JPEG Luca. And hey, so anyway, I want everybody to go out and buy this book, How We Talk, The Inner Workings of Conversation. And one of the things in this book, it's by a linguist at the University of Sydney named N.J. Enfield. And it's by Basic Books, How We Talk. Enfield is a linguist whose research uncovers meaning in the minutiae of everyday chatter. Get this. The slight pauses in the little words we think of as filler, our ums and mm-hmm and hus, are in truth example of the tacit rules of human conversation. Ha allows the listener to catch up with the speaker, while mm-hmm can function as a conversational turn.
It's called a pivot.
Yes. I'm with you. Keep going. And turns out to be an extraordinary word when you think about it as deeply as Enfield has. Among its many uses is to say that you're obligated to answer a question within the customary 1 second window, but you're having trouble saying whatever it is you want to say. Communicates all of this, while at the same time signaling that you're not done speaking yet. Thank you. You're not done speaking yet.
When you're asked a question and you go, you're about to lie.
That's exactly, yeah. And in 2013, he co-wrote an exceedingly media-friendly study claiming that may be a universal word appearing in 10 languages across 5 continents. So we're all going,
We're all doing it.
No, that's what you hear after you've lied.
It's better than going, duh.
Better than going, duh.
Wait,
yeah.
Don't!
Yeah. Hey, I think it's time for a little something here. There we are. You all ready? Hey, it's time for As Nitwits Match Wits with your guest host, Bob Plass, and I'm here with our book diva. We've got Jessica Martin. We've got Ken Stomsky from Ken's Den. We've got Pete Coles, Kitten of the Keys, meow, and we've got JPEG Luca, crusty, dusty sidekick. Kathleen, would you like to participate? Kathy Palmer is not. She's on her cell phone. All right, let's get started.
Let's create a feud.
All right, let's. Question number one. Name an animated character who lost their mother. First,
Bambi.
Dumbo.
Oh, animated character. Fred Flintstone. I never saw her. She was never on that.
Bart Simpson several times.
Yes, yeah. How about you, Mr. Stomsky? A character, cartoon character that lost.
Peter Griffin.
Peter Griffin.
There you go.
Oh, who is that?
Family Guy.
Family Guy.
Family Guy.
Yosemite Sam. That's why he's the way he is.
It's got to be Bambi. 64. Oh my God! When I was a kid in that film, Nemo lost his mother. Finding Nemo. Oh God, it's number 2.
Younger.
Yeah.
I haven't watched any of these.
Oh yeah, Cinderella, the ugly. She has an ugly. I never thought of that.
Mother, yeah.
There once was an ugly duckling. The poor ugly duckling lost.
Did those make you cry, Bob?
All of them. Oh my God, that ugly duckling cartoon. Oh God, Danny Kaye singing it. Oh my God, it gets my heart every time. All right. Question 2. What are people talking about when they brag they've never had a single one in their lives? I've never had a single one in my life. What are you got?
I can't say it, Bob.
Oh, yeah.
I'll get the dump button ready.
I'm afraid I'm in Ken's camp here.
Oh, yeah. Jessica.
I've never had a single cavity.
You've never had a single cavity.
If you were lying, you'd say drink.
I've never had a single drink when they brag. I've never had a single drink. I've never had a single joint in my life. Yeah. Jay?
I've never had just one.
Oh, there. Oh,
I wasn't talking about that.
Lay's,
No.
Lay's potato chip.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Lay's potato chip.
Exactly right. I've never had just one Lay's potato chip.
Do we
Exactly.
dare force the issue here, Ken? Yeah.
What was the question again?
What are people talking about when they brag they've never had a single one in their lives?
I was originally going to go with same-sex experience.
Yes.
But I'm going to go with the surgery.
I've never had
surgery.
surgery. Oh, interesting.
Really?
All right. That's good. Wait a minute.
Did you just
ripped it up.
Let's tear it up.
Bob just tore up the answers to the question.
Just tore the answers.
Now the answer's going to be backwards.
Yeah. Well, we got cavity at number 5.
Oh, I got on the board.
Yeah. The 15 people. And then a traffic ticket. Oh, cigarette. Oh, accident. Oh my God! And then there's one other that I can't figure out.
What was the number 1 answer,
Anyone have
Bob?
any tape?
Number 1 was traffic ticket. Yes. Yeah. Oh God, help me. There it is. Oh, an affair.
God help you. God help us, Bob.
An affair. None of us got that except for Jessica.
Next question.
We're all trying to be nice.
Name something you might cheat on if you knew for sure that you wouldn't get caught. Jay.
Why do you say it like that?
Cheating.
No.
An affair.
Name something you might cheat on.
Like a test or something is the first thing that comes to mind.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
That won't get you
Your
in trouble.
significant other?
Yes. Yeah. Cheat on.
You stole mine.
All right, so you're with me. on this one.
You got one.
No.
Jessica.
I have an
Your taxes.
taxes. See that was my alternative.
Oh.
So you got the numbers 1 and 2 answers.
Diet.
Oh, okay.
Cheat on your diet. Okay, let's see.
I never go on one.
Test, oh my God, we got all 4 of them. Number 1, 28 out of 100, test and exam. 2, 27, income taxes. Significant others, 17, number 3. And my diet, number 4, 16. All right.
Diet is die with a T.
Yes. Okay.
You got that from Garfield.
I think this
Yes,
is
I
the
did.
last one. Name something a male elephant might not have that can cause a female elephant to make fun of him. No, I'll read that again. Name something a male elephant might not have that could cause a female elephant to make fun of him. This is really
Dump
hard.
button is primed to go.
I think
a big trunk.
a big trunk.
No horns. No tusks.
No tusks.
Yeah, tusks.
Oh, that's good.
I think they both have them.
Yeah.
The size of
No,
his ears. The ears
The
too
ears,
small? Yeah.
ears. Okay, yes, yeah.
Does the size of his hands matter?
Oh! Does an elephant
his
have
elephant hands.
Yes, it's elephant hands. How about junk in the trunk? Would that work?
You didn't understand that big trunk was a double entendre?
Oh, I get it. A long trunk is that. Tusks, big ears, privates, big feet. Oh, we didn't get.
I win.
Oh, you got it. Holy mother!
Jay,
there
winner
you
of the day.
are.
Elephant
There you are.
hands.
Hey, today's winner is Jessica. Woo! Yeah. Jessica Martin of Jessica Books because
Of the Jessica book.
Jessica Martin of Blue Umbrella Books.
Thank you.
Ken, who do you have on the show today?
Chef John Flattery.
Oh, wonderful food.
We'll be talking foodies.
Oh, that sounds good. And also, hey, you know what else?
And you know, it's going to suck because we're going to talk about food, and I've been on a 12-hour fast because I'm going into
Go to the
CA.
blood test thing.
Yeah. So I'm already hungry.
Oh, my gosh. I can't wait to get home and have my oatmeal and blueberries. Yeah.
You're going to cause him to go to therapy with Bob Plass.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, we're doing that too, Bob.
Oh, we have. Oh, God. Hey, today is the first day of spring. Did you guys know that?
With a snowstorm tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we got a snowstorm
Seems
coming
appropriate.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Check the weather.
This is actually why I need therapy today.
Oh, my God. I can help you here.
We're on the same level.
Spring is here, and I'm going to play Spring is Here by Rodgers and Hart, but this is a instrumental version by a wonderful group called the Dave Pell Octet. Spring is here.